Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to make your own business cards. Starting a business can be very expensive, so here is a very affordable way to make your own business cards and get them printed for very little. And I'm talking about $10 to $25 depending on the quantity. And today we're going to learn how to make these free business cards in Canva because it has free business card templates. And also you can design very professional looking business cards, and that way you actually end up saving $200 to $1,000 because I actually did the research and here is what it says. Okay, so the average graphic design cost is around $200. I mean, over here it says it's about 0 to 1,000. Again, 0 if you're doing it yourself, which I'm going to show you how. And then here it says a great design should cost between $199 to $999. Now, when you're starting a business, that can be a lot. So making your own business cards at home for free is the way to go. Even if you are an established business and you can save a couple of dollars and really have full control over what the design looks like, and you don't have to go back and forth with the designer, I really recommend doing this. Okay, so at the end of this video, I'm also going to show you how and where to get it printed so that, again, it costs you very, very little. And if you're interested in learning more about how to grow your business, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so that you never miss a future episode. All right, so let's get into how to make these free business cards in Canva. First, you are going to log into your Canva account, which you can create for free just by going to canva.com. And in there on your home page, you're basically going to see all these different templates. And here is the business card template. You can also search here for different types of templates, but I recommend that you just click on this and then it'll show you on the side all the different business cards. Now, keep in mind, some of the things that you want to consider in the business card is having your logo or your image. Okay, especially if you're a realtor, it's really important to have your image, and that way people will easily recognize that it's your card. Second, you need to have your name, then your contact, so email or phone number, and then your website, your physical address if you're a brick and mortar, so that way they know where to find you. And then optionally, on the back of your card, you can have either a call to action, a free download, an appointment time slot, or any of your social media links. So if you really want to have full control over how your design looks, I recommend that you start with a blank slate, and the way to add an extra page is just say add page, so that way on the first page you're kind of designing the front of your card, on the back page you're designing the back of your card. Now, if you are going to be printing your business cards at home, let's say you only need about a dozen to 20 or so, you definitely want to just be having a blank white background, because on your home printer, if you do any of the cards that have a lot of color, you are going to waste so much ink that it's actually going to end up being more expensive to print it at home rather than getting it printed elsewhere. So if you're just looking for a very, very simple white business card, that's the way to go. So just choose a plain white backdrop. Now, if you're going to be doing that, I'm going to show you what to do, and then I'm going to show you, if you do want to get it printed elsewhere, how to go about selecting the design. So if you're going to print it at home yourself and you're going to have the white background, you just go to text. And then what I recommend you do is you scroll down and you find a combination of fonts that work really well together. So for example, this one is a good one, especially because the main header is bigger and bold, and then the subheading is a little bit smaller. So let's just go with this one. There's a lot more to choose from, but just to make this tutorial quick and easy, I'm going to select that one. All you have to do is click on it and it'll show you, it'll just appear. Now, if you feel like maybe this is a little bit too dark, it's too contrasty, you just click on it, you go to where the colors are, and then you go to new color. I mean, what you could do is also click any of these grays or change it to a different color, or you can just go to the regular black, go to new color, and then just drag this and kind of see what looks good. I usually like a darker gray on white. I feel like it looks a lot more modern than just like the really dark black on white. And it's gonna waste a little bit less of your ink. And then if you want to do the matching color, now that you've already selected that color in your document colors, all you have to do is click on that as well. I do prefer having the colors slightly different, so I'm either going to go a little bit darker or I'm going to go a little bit lighter. Okay, so let's say I'm just going to go a little bit lighter, so that's fine. So I'm going to actually put my name in here. So all you have to do is double click on it, write your own name in, and then you have to say, you know, what you are. So I'm going to say I'm social media strategist. Now, if I feel like this is too big, I'm going to just go up here and resize that to maybe a size 10. That looks pretty good. I'm not sure if I'm too into this particular font. And when you're doing your own design from scratch, you can really be flexible with, you know, changing things around and changing your fonts around, which you can't necessarily do with the pre-done templates, but there is a way to do it. So I'm actually going to show you the little hack. It's a hack that you have to do. Otherwise, it'll save it to the previous fonts. Okay, you know what? I kind of like that one. Maybe I'll stick to it. Maybe I won't. Actually, you know what? That one's even better. So I'm going to just keep it at that. And then I'm going to just make sure that all of this is centered. And the way I know it's centered is as I drag it around, when I see this line, now I know that that's in the middle. But maybe I want to make it a little bit above the middle. So there we go. I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm going to click off just to see what that looks like. And that doesn't look too bad. So that was the back of the card, or you know, it doesn't really matter because when you print it, you'll just, actually, you know what? Sorry. If you are printing your cards yourself, you probably don't want to try to do a back just because most paper that you buy at a Staples or a business center, it's not going to be thick enough for you to print on the front and the back without having a little bit of bleed through. So I would definitely recommend that you just do the front. So I'm going to just say this, and what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to, instead of center line this, I'm going to align it to the left and this one as well. So again, you want to say your name or your company name. So I could have written here Art of Soft Selling, and then I could have put my name here. So you know what, let's just do that just for the Art of Soft Selling. Okay. And if you find that that happens, what you want to do is you want to shrink the letters just a little bit so that way it all fits on the same line. And also keep in mind that to keep near the edges kind of clean. So you don't want to put any font or anything that you mind being cut off along the edges. So I'm actually going to move this over just a little bit to the side, just because I kind of want to make sure that there isn't anything being cut off. Okay, cool. Now what I want to do for the rest of my information, I want to actually take a new text box just because I want to have the flexibility of moving it around. So I'm going to just click out of this one, and then I'm going to scroll up to the top, and I'm going to just say subheading. And this is my subheading, and I'm going to just move it under here. And this is where I'm going to put in the rest of the information. So things like your website, your email. I'm going to put in my website. And then my email. Okay. Now, what I can do instead of resizing the actual letters here, I can just take this and drag it out, okay? And that'll actually create more of the text box so that I don't have to resize my letters if I don't want to. And I'm going to do this, but I want to make sure that this is also included. So I'm going to highlight everything. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to drag it under here and see how the purple line is going to tell me, you know, that it's aligned with the rest of it. So there we go. Now I'm going to shrink this a little bit just because it is a little bit too big, because I don't want to have my subheading not stand out. So I'm going to go maybe even to a 6. I'm going to highlight the rest of this, make sure that's a 6 as well. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm gonna, if I had a physical address, which I don't, but if I did, I would put the physical address here. So this is not a real address. I'm just kind of making things up. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna write there. So I look at all of that and I go, okay, that looks pretty good. Now, if there's some empty space up here and things are not fully centered, that actually looks a little bit more modern, right? But if you did want to center it, but you didn't want to have to, center one thing at a time or move one thing at a time, what you can do is just hold down the Shift key and select everything that you want and then move all of that around. So if I wanted it more at the top or at the bottom or to the side in the middle, that looks okay, but maybe just a little bit lower. So maybe like that. Okay. So that would be it. Now, again, I might want to make that a little bit lighter. So I'll make it like that. That way it all kind of blends. And there's your business card. So all you have to do then is click this arrow right here, and you can have a couple of options. You can download it as a JPEG. I would say the PDF, the high quality one, is probably the best way to go. And you just click on that and you click download. Now you can download 2 pages if you're doing front and back, or if you want to just select this page, you just click here and you just say page 2 and you say done, and then you download it. So I'm not going to download it because I want to show you guys something else if you are going to have your business card printed professionally somewhere else. Okay, so I'm back in my templates and I'm going to just delete this because I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to just scroll down and figure which business you're in, or anything that's as close to your business as possible in terms of design. So we have landscaping, hair salon, bakery, black and white. Now the black and white business cards would be good for if you are printing it at home, although you would never want to pick this one with the full color because again, it's going to just drain your ink. So you just keep going. There's babysitting business cards, fashion, dental, all kinds of things. So I'm going to actually go to the top, and I've already kind of selected this one. So I'm going to click on it, and I can click on this one too. And then if you wanna, I'll click on this one first, and then I'll add the page, and then I'll click on this one for the second page. Now here's the thing with the pre-made templates. A lot of times what happens is if I was to work on this design and let's say I changed the font to a different font and then I went and I worked on this design, a lot of times what happens is it automatically changes your previous design to the fonts that were before, or it'll change the wording, right? Because these templates are made so that the same information is on the front and on the back sometimes. So you have to be careful about that. So the way to avoid that is when you finish designing one page, you immediately download that page. Okay, or if you have 2 pages open, a lot of times that won't happen. But let's say, like I only had this one page open. Okay, so I just want to show you what I'm talking about. So I went and changed my name here and I wrote Milena Events. Okay, oops. And then I clicked on this, okay, and it automatically put Milena Events here. But let's say I wanted to have this be something completely different. It would automatically change that. See, so like let's say for example, I wanted to say, so I want to say social media here. If I click back on my previous design, it's going to say Milena Events, and then, yeah, see, it's going to put Milena Events here. Okay, it didn't, okay, see, okay, it did it. So see, sometimes it does it and sometimes it doesn't do it, and it kind of drives me nuts. So I don't want this to change to social media. I wanted it to say Milena Events, right? So the way around that is, let's say I want it to call this Milena Events, and then I wanted to write here social media. what I would do is just save this page. Okay, so I would go in here and I would click download, and oh, you know what? So, okay, this image has a design that actually you do have to pay for, because so it's $1.39 Canadian. However, I don't necessarily want to do that, so I want to go with a free design. And so I'm going to actually select a different design that isn't a paid Canva template. And the way that you can tell that, guys, usually is when you see this grid, see these little gray lines right here, usually that means that it's a paid design. And the thing is, they don't always tell you, so that's kind of tricky. But when you go to download it, sometimes it'll say, oh, like you're using a premium image and therefore you have to pay and download. So just to be sure, before you actually start going in and redesigning something, just click on the download button just to see if you do have to actually pay for that. So yeah, no, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go just back into templates, because I want to show you guys how to do a completely free design. I mean, $1.39 is really not that much to pay, but if you don't want to even upload your credit card information to Canva, you don't have to. So I'm going to go into templates. I'm going to click on that, and maybe I'll select this one. So I'm going to just, so I duplicated this one. Okay, so I'm going to just put that one in the garbage. Or see, now that I put that in the garbage, what it actually did was it just, it got rid of that particular Canva image. So I can actually select a different Canva image, but keep kind of the fonts and the colors similar. Because see, if I go to download this one, I can just download it for free. Okay. So what I would do is then I would just go to backgrounds, and I would just select a background that I kind of like. See? And then it just kind of, yeah. I mean, it's an okay way to go. Sometimes the backgrounds are not ideal. I mean, this one's kind of cute. Maybe put this one. Or you can even upload your own background. Okay, but if you like most of the element of the card, you can do that. And let's say, I wanted to do these hearts, but now this, mint green color doesn't work anymore. I would just click here. And what happens is, which is really cool, is the photo colors up here. So if you click any of these colors, they're sure to match the current photo that's in the background. So that's why it makes it super easy for you to design this. And then if I wanted to click on my name and make that a slightly different color, or I want to even make it a light gray, that could also look good. But we're not going to do this. We're going to just get rid of this. We're going to put it in the garbage, all of it. Oh, I just locked it. Didn't mean to do that. Just delete everything. And I want to start with a brand new design that is free. So I'm going to go back into templates, and I'm going to click this one, and see, when I hover over it, it actually says free. So I actually know this one's free, but just to double check, I'm going to click on here, and there is no fees. So I know I'm good to go with this. So something to keep in mind is if you're going to be, again, designing the front and the back, and you don't like this particular font, make sure that you save each image separately as soon as you've done designing it. Otherwise, it'll change back to the existing fonts. But let's say you really like this. Again, all you have to do is click on it and just change whatever's in there, right? So soft selling, I could put my name, or I could have written my name and then wrote below here social media strategist. Okay, and then I'm going to add another page, because this way it's less likely to change back, but it might. So yep, see, it does. So automatically it puts in whatever you put at the top. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me do that again. Okay, what I did was I duplicated the page, which I shouldn't have done. Sorry, I'm going to unduplicate that. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to make that this one. Okay. let's see what happens if it changes it. Okay, the part that it changed is here, right? So it's still giving me my name, which I like to have a little bit more creative control. So what I like to do is as soon as I'm done working with one design, I want to just download it immediately, because then I'm going to go and change things around here, and then I want to download that one immediately so that it stays put exactly how I had it. Because if you wait until the end to change this side and then change the other side, what's going to happen, unfortunately, is things are going to change back to how they have things preset. So you either have to really love the design as is and not change too much around, or you have to make sure you save things separately. I've repeated myself enough times, so I think you guys get the gist. So yeah, so again, just to make things super simple and easy, you put whatever you want in the front, and then you change the back to, let's say I want to, okay, I'm going to leave my company name, and then I'm going to write my email address. Okay, and then I want to write my website. Okay, cool. So I like that. I like the way that is. If I wanted to change any of the fonts, I would just click on the font and go up here to change it to a different font, like this one, for example. However, I think it looks better the way it was before. And if I wanted to change the colors, I would just click on that element and I would go up here and I could change it to a blue or something else that was more along my brand. Now again, keep in mind, I like this the way it is, so I want to download it. So I click here, I go PDF, print, I go page 1 because that's the only page I want to save. I go done and download. So now I know for sure that I've downloaded the design exactly as I want it. Okay, and then I can go to here and start changing this one around. So I change the color to the blue. So I want that to match, and I want it to be, I want to say, okay, so I changed that. Let's say I wanted my name to be in a different font here. So for example, I want to use like a scripted font that I normally use, which is this one. And sometimes you'll find that if all your letters are capitalized, it's going to look really funky like this. So what you want to do is go here and make sure that they are lowercase. And then obviously you capitalize the first letters of your first and last name. So I like how that looks. Although I feel like that's okay, that looks much better. Okay, that's good. And see, when this whole thing is kind of highlighted, I can actually move this paintbrush effect around if I want to, right? So for example, if all this white, kind of like the white holes in the back, I want to make sure that those are not affecting my letters. So I'll do this. And I might even, make it a little bit bigger. So I'll just go like this to stretch it out a little bit. And then that looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to click off of that, and then I'm going to download just this one. So again, I'll just do page 2, same thing what I did before. Okay, so now that I've shown you how to actually do your business card design, the next thing I want to show you is how you can get it printed. Now, you can do this with any label, but I'm just choosing Avery because it's one of the most popular ones. And you can just go in here and you can search for templates, blank labels, things like that. So usually you would go with the rectangle labels or business cards, right? So one of the most popular ones is this code, which is 28877. Okay, and this is those particular labels because it is for business cards. Okay, now Again, 90 cards is $8, 120 cards is $8.82, so very, very inexpensive, and right now they're having a sale. So this is where you would print your cards, and you can even actually, Avery has some designs of their own that you can look through, but I definitely do prefer the Canva ones just because it gives you so much more flexibility and they tend to look a little bit more creative. So you have the two options to go with the Avery, or you can go with the Canva. And if you want to find a professional service, you can just Google whatever. So you want to Google business card. I'm going to say Toronto. And it's going to give me a bunch of different places where I can print. Now, Vistaprint is a very, very popular one as well, and they deliver anywhere you want. I think it's mostly in North America. But I can just kind of go down here and kind of see, sometimes they'll give you a price range. Again, Vistaprint keeps coming up. Staples is a local business depot. I have printed my business cards with, you can even say cheap business cards, Toronto. Let's just see what comes up when we pick that. Vistaprint is always at the top, of course. But I have printed my business cards with Print Cloud, and I do enjoy them. So I think I don't know if they're in the States, but they're definitely in Canada. So I'm going to just find them here. So Print Cloud. Because I want to show you the difference between quantities. So if you're looking for business cards, it'll give you options of what type of paper that you want to print on. So you can do the premium with the matte or the high gloss or uncoated, and obviously the prices go up the fancier you get. But let's say you just wanted to go for the standard because that's the most affordable. If you see, so this one is 250 cards for $24.99, right? Whereas with the Avery labels, I think it was like $8 or $9 for 80 cards. So basically, if you look at price per card, it's the exact same price, right? If you get it printed professionally as you do with printing it yourself. The only time you would really want to print it yourself is if you really just need a small quantity. But if you're looking for 250, this is a better option because this is still a better quality card than printing it yourself at home, right? When you go to 1,000 cards, it's $59.99, which is kind of a little bit more than double the price of the 250 cards, but you're getting 1,000 cards. So you're getting like 4 times the amount of cards for a little bit more money, right? So that makes a lot of sense. And if you know you're going to be in business for a long time and you want to do 2,500 cards, that's only $90 for 2,500 cards. Now, most of the time you want to print about 500 to 1,000. Actually, I think 1,000 is really good. So that's only $60 for 1,000 cards, which should last you quite a while. And that's single-sided. But as soon as you go with the double-sided, let's see how that changes. It goes up by $10, which really isn't that bad. And I definitely recommend that you use the other side of your card for either, again, appointments, or if you have a freebie to offer. Like on my business cards, I offer my free book. So that's something to keep in mind. So again, that's really not that bad. And if, again, you're really trying to save money, go for the 250, and that's going to, even the double-sided is only $5 more than the single-sided, right? So that makes a lot of sense, and it's good to use up all that real estate. One thing that I forgot to show you is how to upload your own image, but it's very, very simple. All you have to do is click on the upload button and upload whatever image you want. And once it's here, you just drag it into the card and you place it wherever you want, whatever makes sense for you. So that's the way to do that. I know I didn't go into detail with that because I wanted to keep it as simple as possible, but if you want to upload your own image of a headshot of yourself, that's all you would do is go into uploads, upload it, and drag it over. All right, so I hope that you found this helpful, and I would love to hear from you. So please leave any questions or comments below, and also be sure to check out my other videos on small business marketing and success. Until next time, bye for now.